playing the intro, isn't it? Why is that okay? See. There we go. Hey, hey, hey.
Oh,
We're
kick
here.
back on the kick back.
Our kick back. Are
They
we
say-
here?
Kick way back.
Is it possible that we are actually?
What's good, y'all? What's good? What's really good out there? It's Thursday.
It is. Thursday.
We trying to be independent.
Hey,
We here now. How y'all doing?
who's out there?
We hope y'all are good. We hope you find us.
They're making it hard. Why they so hard on us?
Oh, gotta love it. It's always good. That's why we keep going stronger.
But we be alright though. What's up, y'all? Y'all good? Y'all with us?
Questions.
I see the thumbnail. If not, I don't know if I got you. I might. Let's see.
It's been a whirlwind.
Let's let them pile in. Come through. Hit the button.
Pull up.
Say what up. Let us know you out there.
I don't know if I want to share it till I'm sure it's gonna stay screened up.
While we get it together.
But welcome one and welcome all.
Y'all
Hope
know
everybody's well.
how we get down. We got some stuff for y'all, but we don't know if they want us to show it. Good to the grief.
Look at that face.
Let's get up in here. Hey, Mrs.
It's been a week.
How you doing?
Doing all right. I guess you're sitting over there on the other side of the table. So I'm doing all right.
That's what's up.
How you doing?
All right. I'm here. You know how we do.
Oh man.
What's up with
Y'all ready for a
y'all?
good night? Little pre-day fun of TGIF. Friday is coming soon.
Go ahead and send this blast to anybody that want to come through.
Just come on in. Share with a friend. I don't know how we do.
So tonight's topic is simple questions, not so simple answers. You got
They might really need to know the answer to that simple.
here we are, right here. So that's what we got tonight. We got some interesting questions, some interesting videos to go along with the questions as usual,
A little excited.
and see where it all takes us. Apologize for the technical difficulties, but I don't know. I don't know. Behind the scenes issues.
Yeah.
Gotta talk to my moderators and set them straight.
We're gonna hang on and see.
Sometimes sometimes you have to lay a firm hand in order to get the results that one requires. But we're gonna be here for a good time, not a long time. Shout out to T-shirts by Nikki. Everybody checking in. And we'll let them pile in before we get to it. Skrilla's on the check-in. What up, Skrilla?
I think it might be safe to share. Yeah, they're searching.
Hope all is well, bro. How was your week, man?
Peace to everybody.
How's the weather over there in the P to the A?
Yes. How you doing, sir? Skrilla is on the check.
And we got questions. Hope you got some answers. Sis is in the building. Hey, sis. Hope all is well. How was your week? Hope you and everybody is doing good. I think they're starting to come through. Pile in. Welcome, everybody. Hope y'all have a good week. We're just going to have a great conversation tonight. Questions for us. Feel free to fire at will.
Mm-hmm.
We will absolutely tackle them. But we got some really good questions. Skrilla said he can't complain. That's always good. AR's on the check-in. My brother, I hope all is well.
We appreciate you.
And let me blast this link off to myself so when I do want to send it to the party people,
You got it right
they
there.
can receive it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're glad everybody had a good week.
Okay.
Mrs. Harris, you had a birthday this week.
Mm-hmm.
School is back this week.
Not me and one of our little people.
Right.
In essence.
That's Maddie Patty,
Yes.
is what I call her. And she is 8 years old.
8, y'all. Oof.
And she acts every bit of it, too. She is not waiting for anybody. Y'all heard what Sis said. Hit that like button for us. Tell a friend to tell a friend if this is the type of content that they would like. Maybe they pop in. But we're starting to fill up now, so we can go ahead and get to it, Mrs.
Okay, sounds good.
Glad that you're doing good.
Yama Corleone is in the building.
Yes, indeed. What up, sis? How you doing? Everybody that checked in with us earlier for the pre-show over on Facebook, that was fun
Yes.
to get with y'all for a little bit. So, you know,
see the preview.
next week you got a little bit of free time on your hands. Come on over to the pre-show. We'll be over on Facebook getting it in. Mama said peace. Happy birthday to Madison from AR. Yeah, man, she's 8, man. She's out here too. So we got questions tonight, y'all.
Skills.
Mrs. Harris, I got questions.
Okay.
And I want to put the first one up. I want to jump right into it. I'll get to the icebreaker a little bit later. I want to say cheers to you. Cheers to y'all. Hope y'all got something nice poured up. And we're going to get to it. Here's the question. Hey, Sarah. Thank you for checking in.
Hey, love.
All right. Question number 1. How far do we go to protect our children? And we jumped into this conversation on Facebook. And like I was telling you guys, Virgo time is next week. Happy birthday, Freak.
Yes,
You know we're going to hit you up.
Happy birthday.
Shout out to all y'all Virgos too. Y'all do y'all thing out there. But yeah, I was telling y'all about a father that approached the school bus.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and give you guys a little bit of background. So this gentleman's daughter was being bullied. This has been happening for a year. And he has approached the school.
Okay.
He has approached the bus driver. He has approached the security guard and went through all necessary channels. His daughter recently got jumped by multiple girls. And this is what led him to the school bus and what we're getting ready to see.
Parent go too far.
So
Yeah, that was my first time seeing
that was an approach to take.
That was definitely an approach.
Do you agree, Nye? Based on the
With
backstory
all
that I
the
told?
backstory you gave, yeah. That's a breaking point. That was definitely a breaking point. Yeah, I remember he was getting jumped. Like that was the issue. If it was just one person, now it's multiple people. This is why children don't want to tell, because it's like your parent came up to the school, you know, do a snitch type stuff, so it kind of adds to it. So I get that, but what do we need some type of a program in the school where they have other covers, you know, like really sit these kids down. I don't know.
I mean, we got a couple of check-ins. Karma said, I go to any measure to protect.
Absolutely.
Sis said, Mike, maybe I should have muted. It might have been an echo on that. Sometimes there's an echo, sometimes there's not. That's so weird.
Right.
But okay, I will mute next time, sis.
Thank you.
And Freaky Ty said, hey, Miss Ray. She said, hey, Ty. Pleasantries get exchanged.
Welcome.
He isn't helping. It's a great point. Ty.
Yes.
That didn't help. It scared a lot of kids. A lot of innocent children were on there. I understand she was jumped based on the backstory by children. And he said, you know, bully was used. So maybe she was being bullied. Maybe she got jumped. There's a lot of kids who didn't touch her on that bus. Had nothing to do with that. They're just going to go and have a good day or a bad day or whatever.
There's no other children to protect from the bullies. You know, at least when he was coming up, it was somebody, you know, you might be the bully, but there's somebody that's going to see you and don't like that. And they're going to check that bully. You know what I mean? And the bully's going to humble themselves. So I grew up seeing a lot of that. I don't know if that exists any longer. It's like go along, you know, everybody follow the crowd now.
Yeah.
So there's not even one kid on the bus that's going to say, stop doing that or pull them off or. It just becomes a bit much. They're on the bus every day, they see it. So, you know.
Just Andre is in the building. Hey.
Welcome.
Hope all is well.
That's that good Samaritan mentality in the back of your mind. You see it happening to somebody, like you know that shit don't feel good. Like you don't say nothing, you don't stand up on the bus, say, bus driver, pull over, like something's going on back here. And you're gonna, you know, you're afraid of being the target.
JB's in the building. What up, JB?
Welcome.
You said a great word for me. KR crew is in the building. What up, M3?
Welcome.
Shout out to M3, Mr. Best, the whole KR crew.
Yes, now relationships.
You said a great word for me.
Yes.
Bus driver. The leader of the whole vessel is his bus. His responsibility. He should be able to mediate, show some level of authority on his bus with his children. It's not just your child on this bus, sir. And I understand your passion for your daughter. Trust me, I do.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, it's a lot of other people's daughters on this bus. And again, this is, you know, I'm going to use a word that's going to be sensitive to some people. De-escalate. Is it a time to pull dad to the side and say, yo, dad, I know, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep an extra eye out while they on this bus. That if I see anything, I'll be able to report back to you. But it has to be something to be able to de-escalate this man from, because he was hot.
Oh, and he was serious.
That's
his baby. He went
girl.
through all those. That's like what I said when we was on Facebook. I'm gonna go through the proper channels to do it appropriately. And if there's no change, a year, you know how detrimental that is to a child's emotional stability, mental stability, to have to deal with that, and nothing happens. It should be zero tolerated in school. Like it should be the parents come to the sit down, like especially if the child is telling you who the specific people are. Like it's just no follow-ups. Like we know about it, so you know, now we know. Wait. And when something happens to the child winds up doing something to themselves. Because that's happening a lot because of bullying. So, parents have the right to protect their children by any means necessary.
Carmen said, I cannot imagine.
Child.
What else she
Right?
said? She said, I see going hard for your child, but you are damaging the child that doesn't get into anything. And that's a great point. And again, I have daughters. I completely understand where he was coming from and the reason for his aggression, because that's your baby.
We're not gonna limit it to just daughters. I mean, if it was happening to my son,
Absolutely,
it's a problem.
absolutely. But in this specific regard,
Yes,
I know his baby girl, his princess, his all of those words that we put with our girls, they're near and dear to us. And for them to be tormented, for them to go through physical violence unnecessarily, for whatever reason, elementary school or not, in 2022, it's a little unique. You might want to approach it not in his level of passion, but you might want to come to let them know she has support. Let's just be mindful that this girl right here has repercussions coming behind putting hands on her. And so I don't know about his approach. Y'all let me know. But how far do we go to protect our children? Is it just a conversation? How about you, Mrs. Harris? How far would you go to protect your children?
I mean, from the first incident, I'm visual in the school. I'm a standing body. I'm gonna make my presence known. You know what I mean? I'm one of them. I'm gonna advocate. You can't tell me that I can't be a monitor in the hallway. Like, that's an extra hand that you don't have to pay for. Especially when I'm one of them parents anyway, greeting all the kids when they come to the school, helping old people with their book bags, just all of that. So that's something I'm gonna definitely stand up and be like, I don't mind doing it. But you see the little regular ones. Like, you have to pull them to the side. This is not okay if something's going on at home, because most children are being bullied at home. Their situation at home has some issues, and they come to school, and they, act in certain ways. Maybe not all, but the large majority, they got some stuff they got to deal with. And they might be coming to school and behaving that way. So you got to dig a little deeper. And if you get the parents, and the parents is, shrug off the shoulder and it's nothing, they don't care type attitude, like, you're going to have to take it a little further. You got to. Can't just end at that. I do not agree with the man going on here, scaring the kids, but it can be an incident to call the authorities. Like, there's higher ups than just the principal. So you have to go to the board of ed, whatever you need to do, but advocate for your children.
Sir Hill on the check-in. Hey, Sir Hill. Hope all is well, sir.
Hey, Sir Hill.
We are having a great conversation. I'm sure it might not be that simple. The first one was, how far do we go to protect our children? We played a video of a gentleman that was on a school bus, and he was very animate about the protection of his daughter and what he was willing to do if someone else was to mess with his daughter. And did he go too far? On a bus full of elementary school kids to display that level of bravado. And again, why bus driver was so important to me, because that's the only person on the bus that was able to match that level. Okay. So again, it's on him to either say, this is my bus. We don't act like that on this bus with all of these kids on here. Or that's when the de-escalation came in. I understand how upset you are, but we got kids here. Let me take you off this bus. Let me talk to you for a minute. Like, everybody don't have this certain level of commonality. But all it is just having the courage to get down to a person's level and give them some empathy, which is going to lead to one of my next questions. Like, I get it. And like I said, we the type of people, we can always take it to the other side of the spectrum if you want. But no, that's not always warranted. So let's walk this back.
Right.
The same way it could go there, we can walk something back too. Maybe we got off on the wrong foot. Let's start over again. All of these things are de-escalation tactics. Let's get off this bus, man. Let me talk to you for a second. I get it. But I don't know if we can act like this in front of all of these kids.
Mm.
They may start acting like this. Like I said, I'm going to keep an eye out. If something happens, I'll let you know.
And that's what should have happened.
I don't know
to me
if
with the
Pops
bus
would have
driver.
still been like, rah, rah. But bus driver was his size, his height. He was the only person on that bus.
He didn't look like he'd be able to keep up with homeboy, I'm just saying. But I agree with
I
you.
mean, that's when his de-escalation skills.
And I think that's something that most people need to, have. You have so much training in a lot of jobs and things like that. That should be, something that they do too, on top of, this empathy training.
Sarah said that might have made him angry.
Right. Yeah, because he spoke to the bus driver already, so you're not controlling your bus. You're not dealing with these little people. Like, you're not an authoritative figure. They have no respect for you either. Because it can be a nice little group. Whenever everybody get on the bus, before I pull up, I'm making a whole nice announcement. We're going to stand up, let you know this will not be tolerated. And if I look back there and I see I'm going to pull over and I'm going to call your parent and this and that, you know what I mean? Like, show your authority. My cousin's a school bus driver. She play that on her bus. You know what I mean? I used to hear the stories. So don't play that. Kids is not going to be bullying and acting a fool. My mother will pull over. I know your mother, so and so, call them out and everything. So she shut it down. So it's possible.
Absolutely.
That
Let's
makes
talk
better.
Better Black Life. Shout out to Brother Clarence, Rico, OG Patrice, the whole team over there. Thank you for joining us, man. We're having a great conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We have questions.
Yeah, man. Especially when it comes to the little people.
It does.
We ready to buck up real quick for hours, especially if we didn't have, adult figures in our life that protected us. Now we even more protected. How dare you? The audacity to try to do something. My kid, yeah, watch this. I'm going to the ground for mine, right? So
Again, that's that line that
right.
Sarah checked in. She said they had a year to handle it. Now, by any means. And that alludes to exactly what you just said. But I think that's a question and a conversation we have with ourselves when we have children. What am I willing to do for my kids? And some people are willing to sit in a box. Some people are willing to lay in a box for their children. So, maybe he's one of those people that said, I'll go to jail for my daughter. But if somebody put their hands on her again, I'm going up there and I'm letting the whole bus know. I'm shaking the whole bus over. Okay, Pops. Sis checked in. She said, if you are enjoying the conversation, hit the like button. I like it.
Yes, subscribe. Get a notification.
I will be visiting those girls' mama and dads. He actually did talk with the parents. It led nowhere. Again, this has been going on for a year. He followed the natural course of action he followed.
Mm-hmm.
All the necessary steps you need to take. I did a little bit of backdiving on this story just to find out because he absolutely got a charge for coming up there and screaming at all of those kids. Yes. But he absolutely went through the necessary channels and he was being a dad. And in the comments on TikTok, it was a lot of women saying, I love that. I love to see a man protect his daughter like that, especially in these days and times where it's questionable about protection and yada, yada, yada. To see a daddy go to bat for his daughter, I love it. I said, this is interesting.
I wonder if she still have to deal with it. You know what I mean? That's something else.
JB checked in. He said, when you have had enough, sometimes listening is the last thing you want to do. Absolutely. Reasoning kind of goes out the window. I have done that before. I think we all been to that point.
Oh, absolutely.
Scared straight. Give them a little bit of that.
Yeah. And something, I was going to touch on that. Just they all have their girls, even without the parents, speaking to the young ladies. Start this step crew. Why y'all got to put that energy towards violence? How about show me your skills? I'll bust out some shit to them. They will be impressed. Can y'all do something like that? Like,
redirect the energy.
Absolutely. And I would attempt that.
Okay.
Because they're females.
That's a great suggestion. Redirect that energy.
Good. Meet up at the park. Like, what's up? Because we ain't afraid to fight.
like I said, that was leading to another question, y'all. I'm gonna keep the train rolling. Is empathy hard for humans? If so, why? Y'all know what empathy is, right? It's different from sympathy.
I mean, they might need a definition.
So,
I know,
good point. Good point.
what it means to me means something different to
Good
you.
point. Good point. Good point.
I love y'all, but y'all know how
Okay. Yeah. And let's go ahead and I would only be able to put it in the back chat. You gonna put it in the chat for me? Thank you. You're so good to me.
do it.
All right. So, is empathy hard for humans, y'all? We're gonna put empathy up. Karma gotta check in. It shouldn't be. We made in his image, right? Image. We are. We are made in his image. Okay. So I'm thinking about if I was made in the image of something different. Let's say this ring light, right? If I was made in the image of this ring light, I would just appear to look like the ring light, would not? Would I have the necessary feelings, the same inner workings of the ring light, or would I just be made in the image of the ring light? Again, when I hear image, I'm just looking at the picture, just the way it looks. And you can make a replica of something on the way it looks, but am I necessarily going to operate and work like the ring light? Because we don't operate and work like the image that we were made from. We don't operate like that. So empathy might not be possible for us because we're not him. He was special.
Special, right? I mean, they gotta know.
Based on the stories out
right. To understand someone else.
It is when many lack emotions. Okay. It is when many lack emotions. Okay. The ability to understand and share the feelings of others.
That is empathy.
Sounds about right.
Conscious out there?
Right.
Are you?
The ability to understand and share. So you don't actually have to do it. You just have to have the ability to do it. That's pivotal.
Yeah, that means, you don't have to agree. That's the agree to disagree.
Right. Okay. Understand.
The ability to understand and share the feelings.
But I don't necessarily have to share your feelings. I just have to be able to understand where you coming from.
Yes.
Got you. Right. Perfect.
Sympathy is different.
Perfect. Okay. And Sarah checked in. Today it is all about me, not being able to put yourself in others' shoes. Right. Okay. Let's go ahead and rock a video to go along with that question. And let's see. Let's do this one. Let's get that one.
We've gotten to a beautiful point in our society where when folks feel mentally exhausted, they can just say they're mentally exhausted. And I, for one, respect it and appreciate it. So when folks like Russ announce they are pulling out of something for mental health reasons, as someone who deals with their own, anxiety and bouts of depression and grief, I overstand, why he's pulling out of his European tour. So it really bothers me when folks like Lil Pump make statements like this.
You got mental health issues? I'm from Dade County, bitch. I was born with mental health issues. How about you fucking deal with this and stop being a fucking And you know damn well who I'm talking to, boy. Your ass just canceled the whole Europe tour, bitch. Stop canceling Hop on that plane and go do your shows, you
Lil Pump, that's corny as hell. Okay, number one, I'm sick of people using the P word as an insult. All right, how do you insult someone by calling them something that so many people enjoy? All right, not to mention there's nothing weak about a vagina, sir. In fact, they should make tires out of the same material as vagina walls. You would never need a new tire. Okay, they would be the most durable wheels on the planet. But I digress. What I'm really sick of is people trying to downplay what other humans are going through mentally. How do you know what Russ is feeling on the inside? Not to mention, Pump, I heard you say that you're from Florida and you've been dealing with mental health issues your whole life. You know your Uncle Shala agrees with that because the craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. But I would love to know, Pump, how exactly are you dealing with those mental health issues? Huh? That you say you are dealing with? Because you're probably dealing with them the same way a lot of us used to, by suppressing them. Okay, by staying busy. Oh, you didn't know staying busy is a trauma response, huh?
Let's stop there. Staying busy is a trauma response. We can unpack that if y'all want to, because a lot of people like to stay moving and stay busy and stay working and not stay getting to the bag. It's because you're traumatized. You don't want to sit still. But
Sounds familiar.
even bigger than that, let's talk about the conversation. Calling somebody the P word, examining their statement of saying they need a little bit of time off because they having mental health issues, they may be mentally exhausted, whatever the case may be. A musician, and what he was saying, suck it up, get on the tour bus, and fulfill your obligation to your profession. Don't nobody want to hear all that.
Right.
What say you about that?
I mean, I agree. They get into it, they sign on to these things, and they're not willing to do the work. And one of them get a lot of the money beforehand, right? Depends on how their situation is.
Okay. Okay.
People are not as
No, I completely understand.
Yeah.
That you sign on, there's a certain level of professionalism you have to display. And when you sign on to do a tour, to do an album, to do whatever, you kind of obligated. But at the same time, which made me bring up the empathy question, are we really giving them consideration or even showing we have the ability to when we say, stop being a P word? Karma checked in, she said, yep, that's why I do it. Villa, keep it moving. You gotta keep it moving. Shout out to Karma Corleone for Gotta Keep It Moving. That's her single. Check it out everywhere social. Spotify, everywhere. Sarah checked in. She said, what they fail to understand, they are human and have shit happen. Right. That part. So I'm in the middle. I need y'all to help me because, again, you sign on as a professional. I'm going to be here. I talk to people so much that don't want to pay a bill that they signed a paper that said they was going to pay every month for X amount of years. You didn't say every month unless this or unless that. You said every month for 5, 7, 3, 1 year, I'm going to pay.
Right.
Sign. You said that. We ain't asked you, we ain't pull you out your bed. You asked for this. You cannot pull out and say, I got issues.
Right. You're asking for a privilege but don't want the obligation.
But on the other hand, I can't jump inside of your head and say, you ain't feeling like that. That's like saying you don't think. I think the sky is blue. No, you don't. I can't say that. That's preposterous. Did I use that right?
The sky look pink to me. So,
okay.
Tell me what my eyes see.
Right. See, right. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Let's get back. Sympathy is a little different. Feeling of pity and sorrow for someone. Absolutely. That's just an emotion feeling. Empathy is when, again, you have the ability to put yourself in their shoes. Walk that mile. That's why when people have stories about their children, a lot of the first rebuttal or a question someone will ask is, do you have children?
Yeah.
Because how can you be empathetic? How can you put yourself in my shoes when you can't? Because you don't have children.
Mhm.
So the conversation can only go but so far when a person has children and a person doesn't. So I completely understand that. What do you guys
To a
think?
degree.
Absolutely.
Right, because that person with no children could have been teaching children for the last 15 years. It's different than raising a child, but they can have some insight, some perspective on children, dealing with their parents just all the years of like, damn, well, I'm noticing that these type of children have these type of parents,
Okay.
and these type of children come from these type of parents.
Okay.
To see it over and over again every year, you have to be able to make an assessment to some degree. You are a theorist to some degree.
So y'all let me know, is empathy hard for humans? If so, why? Y'all let me know. I'm gonna say 3 words that back my answer up. Benefit of the doubt.
Right. Ooh.
I often pointed out that men don't get it, but I start to really reflect. Nobody really get it. I'm gonna keep it funky with you.
Except the special in the
Right. There are some absolutely empathic, empathetic, sympathetic people that can look outside the lens. But for the most part, you say something, that shit is taken straight off top. No investigating, no probing. What say you? Have you seen different?
Most of us are like you say a lot, we're desensitized. We've seen it all, heard it all excuses, so it's like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? No one cares, work harder. Some people do have that mentality. You know what I mean?
E Blizzle is popping.
Welcome.
We got questions, E Black. We got questions.
Yeah, they're really not simple.
No, none of the answers are gonna be simple. Questions gonna be straightforward. Bam. Took me a second. But the answers, it's not, because I really and rarely see another person in our community, the Muslim community. You got to give a brother 72 reasons before you condemn him. Ooh.
72.
You got to give him 72 outs, 72 excuses, 72 reasons, 72 scenarios. Well, maybe he had wings. That's why you seen him flying with that other sister. And that can only happen in front of the elders. So again, it's just certain guidelines that we gotta go by. We can't even talk about another brother unless the brother is right there. Only reason we can talk about these 85ers is they're 85ers. They was brothers and sisters. You can't say a word about them unless we all sitting in the same room, because they got to be able to defend themselves, because it just eliminates a lot of bullcrap. A brother can't come in my house and I'm not home. He can't. It's against the rules. It just eliminates a lot. But 85ers, you could go in. I wasn't even home. Yeah, I stopped by to grab that DVD. Nigga, what the hell? So, I don't know if empathy is really even possible, because that's something that we are taught to consider. We're taught to give these brothers the certain courtesy that they deserve based on the teachings of the honorable. But most people don't do that. Somebody say they sleeping with your man. Oh, she must be sleeping with you. She said she was. Right. How about no?
It's automatic conviction.
Right. And that's with the sisters. And the brothers don't get it too much from society, from their counterparts. So I don't know. Y'all let me know. I could be way off. But empathy,
Yeah, I mean, I always talk about it. You know, get the benefit of the doubt. Y'all,
I don't know. Y'all let me know. Let's get to
We
another
don't hear it
question.
come
Now. Let's
out
get to
of my
another question. And that was no. Oh no. Yeah. Did we do this one? No. We did this one on
Yeah,
Facebook,
we did
right?
that on Facebook. Yep.
So let's get to
Oh,
it on.
man.
Let's get to it on here. Is family supposed to be our original therapists, counselors, and support group? Or should we be going to AA and
Right.
all the other support circles and groups of strangers we sit in to get empathy, to get consideration, to hear us instead of speaking over us, attacking, judging, and all the stuff we get from our family? Let's talk about that. What you think, Mrs.? What y'all think out there?
You know, that would be awesome if that would be possible. You know, but family is unique. You know, because I think from birth we have an image. You know, right up top, just finding out the gender, you give them a name, so you know, you kind of envisioning a whole life for them.
Okay.
And things don't plan out the way you see it. So you have an idea of what this person is to a point where people start to get to know who that person really is. You know, we block them from their truth. We teach them how to lie. You know, they watch us lie.
Right.
So you know, it's quite unique to have all these children grow up in one house, in the same lifestyle, same living, but they all come out of it with different perspectives of what they saw, how they internalized it. You know, so it's quite unique. So it's kind of hard to show that empathy with family members because you assume so much.
Okay.
You speculate a lot for that person, you know, because you think you know them. You think you know them better than they know themselves because, you know, that's your sibling, that's your auntie, that's your father, your mother, your grandparent, you know. So, you know, it becomes a little disrespectful. So, yeah, I ain't talking to you about shit because you think you know me, but you don't.
Shout out
It's
to
unique.
Mr. Best on the check-in. Shout out to the whole K&R crew over there.
Yes, no, generation shit.
Word. Big shout out to them. Go hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Their content is always fire. I can't wait to jump in with y'all. I've been catching up on business, but I can't wait to get back at it. Guy, Karma checked in. She said, my family taught me Jehovah. So when I look to him as a therapist, it comes full circle, no doubt. I mean, whatever we need to get us to walk that path. Again, we all got the same destination. The route we take gonna be different.
Absolutely.
But we got the same destination, and I think that's the most important part. Shout out to the sis. She said, hit that, smash that like button. You look great too. Looks like we got everything looking right. I love it.
I appreciate that.
We do, we really do. Fire, fire, fire for you, Karma. Thank you for checking in. Thank you everybody for checking in. Y'all see what the topic is tonight. And the last question was, is family supposed to be our original therapist, counselor, support group? And that just sprung from, again, just looking around all of the different support groups and see people working on anger management and different types of addictions. And again, they sit down in front of these people that give them this organic,
even it's over the phone a lot of
non-judgment, internet, all of that, but just organic non-judgment. I think about our therapist. He's just so welcoming, and he always, you know what I mean, got this bright type of disposition to him where it's like it's cool. Even when we seen him in the personal space, hey, how you doing? Smile. He kept it moving. He ain't come up on us. We ain't come up on him, and it just, that's how it's supposed to be. Everybody's supposed to be in this nice bubble where they can see another person and understand you need space, you deserve non-judgment, you deserve empathy, sympathy, and all the rest of that stuff. But like you said, once we grow with someone for 18 years, for 20 something years, and we're living next to someone for so many years, we start to feel we know them to the point where we may jump in when they start talking. We may pass judgment on the way they move. We may, you know what I mean? And that may stifle the conversation from going forward.
Well, think you have a right as the younger sister, older sister, younger brother, older brother. You know what I mean? You just This is where all it on you. You don't have the right to tell me anything. I mean, it's just such.
JB checked in. He said families aren't equipped for those roles, but they can support you through professional help and family judges based on what is expected.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great point.
Yep.
That's a great point. We've absolutely seen that. Expectations can be something else.
Yes.
And you know, when someone articulates it to you, if they don't present it in a certain fashion, it can seem like dictation almost. You know, I thought you would be this, or I thought you would do that. And it's like, wait, it's a lot of thought you're giving to.
Well, I think, you know, a family member can admire the good things they seen in you as a young person and would think that, you know, those things are going to take you far. So to see you're not tapping into all those things I saw,
I got you.
You know, like what's really good, what's going on, you know?
So, I'm gonna drop the link if anybody want to come up. We got some really good videos to go with some really good questions. We're gonna have an icebreaker just in case anybody is on the fence and want to think about if they want to come up. We give you a couple of seconds, but the link is up. Did I say StreamYard? No, that's not the link. That's not the link.
Thanks.
Yeah, disregard that last link. We are not on StreamYard. But
Yeah,
go ahead and I don't know where I came from. Sabotage. Y'all ever heard of sabotage before? It's a thing. Like that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna throw an icebreaker up. And I'm gonna drop the link. If anybody wants to come through, they can.
Like breaking ice.
There it is. I believe that's it. Y'all let me know how that works out.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Let's go
That's
ahead
it.
and get a nice icebreaker up here. You know
What you got for me? I like to be surprised with y'all most of the time. Just saying.
Yeah, let's do it.
Why do you have so many thumbtacks in your face? I take it you don't like how I look, but that's okay. I love it though.
That was a lot of stuff.
It is a lot of stuff on her. Did it say sad under her eye?
I think it said pain.
Oh, pain. Pain, right? Yes, it does. Like a butterfly. Shout out to the butterfly.
And I'm not one
Is
that.
that an earring on the top of the eyelid?
It's a lot going on.
Child, wait, oh, there's an unk in the middle
It's a
of
lot
her
going on.
forehead.
It's a lot going
It's
on.
interesting. You know.
And I'm not one that's against,
Absolutely
you know,
not.
a tattoo or two, one on your face, maybe even, depending on, you know, placement, size, or choice. Some people don't have a choice in that. It's just there. But that's a bit much. Unique.
Yes.
She could be an influencer of some sort, but unique. What do you think, Mrs.?
I mean, even if, you know, we grew up in New York City, so this is nothing shy of what, you know, different types of people are interested in. And I just don't think everybody is the same. So maybe that's a part of the empathic in me.
Mhm.
You know, everybody's not gonna be wife and husbands, and everybody don't want that type of life. And you know, you know, if she's handling her business, taking care of family, and you know, I don't have no gripes. But damn, that's a lot. That's a lot. You know, and then just to hope she wouldn't be one of the people where you're upset because you're getting a lot of attention. Like, what the fuck do you expect? You know, it's like people's like, I don't do it for the attention, but you know, if you know that certain things and when you dress and how you present yourself is going to create a lot of attention,
Mhm.
why do it if that's not what you're looking for, right?
I believe we're back. I'm not sure. YouTube is not liking us, but we like y'all. We gonna continue to be professional about it. Thank y'all for being so patient, because it is absolutely appreciated. And sis, thank you for being so patient.
Try to pop in again.
Nah, I gotta send it back to her because I don't know what they doing. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send it and put it in the link. Goodness gracious. YouTube is something else. I hope everybody's doing good. Mrs. Harris.
Apologies.
Let me ask you a question, Mrs. Harris. What do you got planned for the weekend? It's Labor Day weekend.
It is.
Shout out to everybody that is celebrating the holiday. Shout out to all our Caribbean family.
Massive.
Shout out to everybody doing the Juve thing and all the rest of that stuff.
No real plans. We got some new roller skates. So I
Oh,
was thinking
yes.
about testing them out.
We got some roller
Possibly get the
skates.
rink or something, you know. I don't know.
Oh, some roller skates. You got
Me
these some too?
too. They fly.
What mine's that?
Sneakers. They want too much for roller skates for me.
Okay.
Maybe for Christmas.
You
Jeez.
gotta sit on Santa Claus's lap and tell him that you want it first.
You know. I get
Okay. So let's break the ice while I send out this blast and put it in the chat. Thank everybody for being so patient and sticking around. And let's go ahead and do this.
Tell me what you just told me, all right?
Mom cooked her new boyfriend a steak and gave me dry cereal without milk.
That don't make no freaking sense. First off, it's too late for you to even be eating cereal, but show me the cereal. Show me the cereal. Look at this, y'all. Look, no milk. That don't make no freaking sense. And she gonna make her whole boyfriend a steak. Put your mom on the phone.
Okay.
Show mom on the phone, man.
Mom, I want to talk to you.
That's crazy, dog. I promise you.
Her Sarah don't want to talk to you.
I bet she don't want to talk to me. I bet she don't want to talk to me because she knows she wrong. She bogus. I promise you, son. If I could bring some food, I would, but I can't. I can't come into the house. But I promise you, I'm fighting for you. Okay?
Okay.
I love you, man.
I love you too.
So,
No doubt. That was the icebreaker video. Shout out to everybody that was able to sit through. A little trigger warning there. It was a little emotional, especially if you're a dad. But that was a video of a gentleman that was allegedly being shown by his son that he was only being fed cereal while mommy's boyfriend was eating a steak. And, you know, we don't know if it's true. We don't know the specifics. But let's just speak to the conversation. Is it, you know, good for a father to not even have access to his child when he asked to speak to mom? Mom said, I don't want to speak to you. You know he can't go over there. If he can't even speak to her on the phone, you know he can't go over there to check on his seed because he just feels like it. So, you know, just that situation is a little unique.
heartbreaking. Unfair.
That you get this kind of information first. That boyfriend gets steak, I get cereal. But then when you say, you know, let me speak to mom, it's like she says she don't want to talk to you. That's just it. There's no rebuttal. There's no right or wrong. There's no empathy, no consideration of the other person's side. And, you know, I guess rightfully so, right? Because she's the custodial parent. What say you, Mrs. Harris?
Okay. Yeah, you know I don't like shit like that. Because my simple answer is to get the man his child. You know, I hear a lot. I grew up hearing a lot of women say that. You know, feel he can do a better job than take him. I mean, well, then give him the opportunity to have it.
Right.
You know, that's a no go. On way to get steak, maybe get some damn cereal. Even if it's just one night, that's not okay. It's not okay.
I put the link in the chat if anybody want to come through, give it a shot. Let me know how it works. I tried it myself, so I believe it works. Everything looked to be on the up and up. So y'all let me know if y'all need the link personally. I'll send it to you. And we're just going to continue with the questions that we have. And we're not going to stay in that lane too long because the missus really doesn't like stuff like that. So let's go to the other side of the spectrum. Let's do this. This is an age-old question, probably been being asked since the beginning of time, but it's a good one. And it says, can men and women be platonic friends? Can they just be friends? No expectations, no strings attached. None of that neither.
No, ooh-wee.
None of that either. What say y'all out there? Can a man and a woman be platonic friends? Before you answer, we ain't gonna jump right into the answers this time. We've been jumping right into the answers, right? So I'm gonna give Mrs. Harris a couple of seconds this time. And we're gonna play a video. Here's the video.
Best friends is a female, and I thank her for that. She forced platonicism on me, and it was a beautiful thing for me because it was like my first female friend, and I got to learn. Like,
it's beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Females and males can be friends. We talk
Well,
about
yo,
all
bro,
the time on
but
it
takes a lot of work. Was she attracted to you? Gail's personality was one of the most attractive things on the planet.
Let's say you, Mr. Harris. We're gonna play it again. It happened kind of fast, right? That's a good point to make. That's a good point.
He said her personality was the most attractive, but that question was she attracted to you? Right?
I mean, let's take one more.
Yeah.
One more.
One of my best friends is a female, and I thank her for that. She forced platonicism on me, and it was a beautiful thing for me because it was like my first female friend, and I got to learn. Like,
it's beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Females and males can be friends. We talk
Well,
about
yo,
all
bro,
the time on
it takes a lot of work. Was she attracted to you? Gail's personality was one of the most attractive things on the planet.
Was she attracted to you? So that's what his question was. Like, you know, if she's not attractive, then y'all can be friends. Maybe that's what he was insinuating by saying was she attracted. That's why he said, I'm attracted to her personality.
I didn't think he had to insinuate anything because he said she forced platonicism on me. He said that with his mouth. So that means he wanted to hit it. She said, no, we're going to be friends, and forced it on him.
Right. So that's why we're friends.
His reflection was her personality is one of the most beautiful because that's all he gets to know.
Right.
Being platonic, he gets to know her personality. Okay. And again, turning out at the end of the day, he's saying at the end of the day, her personality turned out to be good. So I'm glad she forced being platonic friends on me, but she had to force it because
he would have smashed.
He would have smashed.
Because even now, he would still smash. Like if the opportunity arose, he would smash. She's gonna say, no, we're friends, and I don't want no. Women usually do that. You know, I don't want anything to change. Your men's probably not gonna say that. If they've been around, they've been your friend for 10, 15 years, and you decide you want to hit it, chances are they're probably gonna be with it. I really doubt it to be like, you know, not feeling, unless they're married and, you know.
Okay.
So, you know, having a dick in a glass jar.
Karma said absolutely what?
That they can be friends.
Okay. Some women use children as their petty torch. They do.
Yeah. They're accessories to dangle in front of you like a damn horse. Man, it's a shame.
Absolutely. So what say you about the question, JP? Do you think men and women can be platonic friends? I say no. And just based off of his explanation of it being forced on, and typically, I wouldn't say it has to be forced, but it definitely has to be a conscious person in the relationship that says, we're not gonna do nothing.
Right.
We are friends. This is what we are here for. This is what we're trying to accomplish. Because if there's any, it's gonna be some moving and grinding.
Right.
It's gonna be something. Everybody's on the fence. The minute we watching Netflix or something and it get a little boring or a little shoulder rub, it can
Fall asleep the wrong way.
It can get different. It can get different. What say y'all? I can be way off. I don't think many women can be platonic. Maybe professionalism can come into play, where we're co-workers, we're peers, colleagues, and a certain level of professional decorum has to be maintained.
Instead of being an associate versus a friend. Oh no, these people's definitions is something, man.
I mean,
friends coming over to the house, family engagements, blah,
okay.
blah, blah. So,
Okay.
I don't know.
JB say yes. Friend zoned him. Yes, she did.
I mean, in the back of my mind, I would say, I always knew that it's not really possible, right? Because I grew up with a lot of guys. Before I met my husband in the club that night, that's all I was hanging out with. I would go back to the hood and hang out with them. You know what I mean? Cool brothers. They know I'm not trying to give up no skins, But if an opportunity arose, I'm pretty sure they would have took the opportunity. Not all, but the majority. If it's 10, 8 out of the 10 will probably absolutely take the opportunity. Fuck that friendship. You know what I mean? So knowing that, when I met you, I said, why? Let me go back over there and let them know. Like I met somebody, and I don't want y'all to think I just social media. So you had to physically go and make a trip, let them know I was good, and I won't be around no more because I found me, a gentleman friend. It was exciting and all that. Shout out to y'all. But, in the back of my mind, I knew that wasn't something I was going to be able to continue to do, to let you know I'm leaving your presence to go hang out with a whole bunch of my homeboys and smoke, you know what I mean, and chill out, crack jokes, whatever, so,
Understandable. Okay. Let's continue moving. Let's keep the train moving. Let's see. Oh man, this is a good one. This is one of my favorites. Mrs. Harris, can I ask you a question? Can emotional intelligence be expected from a quote unquote simple man? A lot of people say they simple.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know.
I'm simple.
Simple. They claim it.
But we use a word like emotional intelligence. I guess you're gonna operate in both spaces and say I could be simple and have emotional intelligence. I'm a simple man. All I want is the remote and a sandwich. But I can also regulate my emotions and don't yell and scream at people. The two can exist at the same time, correct?
I'm not sure.
What would you say?
I mean, when I think of a simple man, I think of stupid is as stupid does. You know what I mean? Like
Okay. Palmer said, Petty Torch, please elaborate, right? Okay.
Yes, Petty Torch. Women are petty. Forrest Gump. But he was a successful idiot.
Okay.
Okay. He got by and got through.
Okay.
But when I think of simple, I think of his type of, character.
Okay, I got you.
So I don't think men are simple.
Okay.
So,
B Nizzle, what up, B Nizzle? Shout out to B down in the chat. Okay. So
I think we're all unique,
okay.
Intricate creatures.
Okay. So emotional intelligence. Let's take a look at what someone says about that. What do you guys think about emotional intelligence? JB checked in. He said, I have two friends who have been nothing more than that for over 12 years. If you're looking for more than that, can't be friends.
Awesome, awesome.
Absolutely. Gotta put that boundary down.
Now, that's are you a single man or are you?
That's
in a
dope to just have a friend,
Yes.
you know, a friend of the opposite sex on a platonic level. I had a next door neighbor. We were friends. One of my best friends. Loved her to death. My sister.
Yes.
We became family. And it was always a conscious decision. Because it came a time where we both became consenting adults and we able to do whatever the hell we want to.
Right.
If we both in a room together with nothing to do, it's one thing to do. And I think that's what a lot of grown people don't understand. That it's one thing to do. We could be playing video
Cards,
games, we could
all
be
that.
playing cards, we could be reading a book, we could be
Making up a dance, you know. all
making the
that.
bed make noise. Something to do. But again, I think a conscious decision of us knowing not to cross boundaries, where it would take us, all of the rest of the stuff that go along with that.
Right.
We good right here where we at. So I don't know if it's just as simple as being simple and not operating on emotional intelligence and having platonic friends and men being friends with women or not. I think it's like he said, if somebody is willing to force the platonic relationship, if you guys are both conscious that
That's
we're
not
here
on the
for a
table.
certain reason,
Then a friendship can move
then I
forward.
think it can work. But to be, I would say, naive in my opinion, and
Yes.
say, oh no, we can both operate in the same space.
Right.
Take a shower, fine, come on out wet with your hair dripping.
Right,
It's
right.
nothing, you know, we
Or having
friends.
inappropriate
Right.
conversations. Like, you know, some conversations shouldn't be had. You know, it's kind of diving a little too intimate.
It's a gateway drug.
I mean,
It can lead to something.
you know.
So it's a joint. Certain conversation, certain back rub, foot rub, them foot rubs. Ooh, what's the foot massages? Okay,
Get you
okay,
hurt.
okay. We can keep the party going. We're not gonna be here for a long time. We're gonna be here for a good time. Now we were talking about emotional intelligence. I'm gonna share a video, and I want to know what you guys think. And let's see, where is he at? Let's stop there.
Right.
Emotional intelligence is the talking point. But he said something that was very pivotal to me.
Okay.
Emotions. And how being able to identify them is helpful, but at the same time, people try to point out that they're not a good thing, especially when it comes to a man. Now, as long as you can display emotional intelligence along with those emotions and put a cap on that passion so it doesn't come across as OG on the bus,
Explain.
that it don't come across as going back and forth with somebody, but you can still get aggressive in a level of emotion. And I don't think emotion is a bad thing for a man, but what do you think about, like he said, emotional intelligence and just the stigma of emotions in a man?
Oh man, you know, it's taught. It's taught, sadly, you know, from birth for little boys, you know, to not show emotion. You know, suck it up, don't cry. You a nick, you know, little nigga, whatever. You know how hoods go. It can get really damaging to a degree. Hearing it every day, you know, suck it up, don't cry. You're a man. No, I'm a little boy.
Man up.
Man up.
Man up.
You know, and I get
Jay.
it when they fall. You know, get up, dust yourself off, try again. You know what I mean? But to tell them not to show any emotion is really unfair. It's unfair, especially if you're a man and you went through that as a child. You know, you kind of think it's a rite of passage. You think this is how you're supposed to tell your young man to grow up. You know, don't whine. Stop being a little sissy, crying all the time. You know, you're not teaching them how to express themselves, but we're telling them not to do it. Just don't cry, but you're not saying, you know, well, articulate what you want and what you need. You know, tell me what you want, what you need.
Crying.
Tell me what you want, what you need. You don't even want to listen to that.
Just tell them what not to do.
Right, because whatever they're whining and crying for, it's irrelevant. You just don't want to hear that from a little boy, you know. So now we have mothers who come along, and now we've seen that, and we over pacify, you know. So y'all still are not able to manage them either way.
Absolutely, great point. We got a couple check-ins.
Not all. If it don't fly, let it fly.
I think JB has given us the definition that we were looking for.
Appreciate you.
And that is going to be being extremely petty to the point where it's obvious and parading around proud and petty. I know the type.
Oh man, ratchetness, yes.
I know the type.
I've seen it many times over.
I think, did Carmen say something like that? And she said, that's my baby. I can't text no more because I'm driving, but I love y'all. We love you too. We love you too. Yo. Okay. We love you, Carmen. Drive safe.
Yes,
that's right. Don't be
please.
texting.
Yeah.
And driving.
Text, talk to text. Just listen. We're here.
So I think it's very unique that we, like you said, point out that little boys and young men shouldn't show emotion and then expect them to have emotional intelligence when they get older. It's something that, you know, is near and dear to me because I'm an emotional person. But I try to be emotionally intelligent. Because I know it can come off, it can come off crazy.
Right.
I was very quiet around you for a long period of time, to the point where it was a little alarming. Only because, like, you know, you were on a podcast yesterday, you alluded to the sisters, like, you know, imagine him quiet, and it's like, nah, not really. But it's a lot to just, can you imagine bombarding it on you on day 3? That's a little different.
And that was me.
Like,
so
this
it was
dude,
like the yin and yang. You had to absorb a lot. I was
like,
always
wow.
talking.
So, you know, again, just awareness that it can be a bit much for people to take on, especially in a barrage, is just that intelligence that we're talking about. And again, you can always let them know that you're aware of your emotions and you're going from perturbed to frustrated to infuriated, enraged. Like, it's so many emotions in between happy and irate.
Right.
But if you don't have emotional intelligence, you just think it's happy, not happy.
Or even pointing it out, having that type of dialect with the kids. You know, I mean, it starts off young. It's young training for them to understand that they either think you're sad or angry or mad. Those 3 things. They don't know anxious, you know, like you said, frustrated, annoyed, you know, just losing patience.
Agitated, aggravated.
So many. So to explain to them that, you know, it's an everyday thing. It's a practice, something you have to practice with them throughout their upbringing for them to, you know, really grasp it. Because I did that to the girls too, you know, not really told them not to cry, but told them they can't, you know, you're not going to get your way by crying.
Right.
You know, it's okay to cry, but don't think that that's going to get you your way or you're going to get out of something because you're crying.
Absolutely.
You know, so you got to be able to maintain that, which is hard. But that dialect is not something you have one time.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and break the monotony a little bit, Mrs. Harris. Let's go ahead and share a video with you. I want to know what you think. Hold on, let's see. I got any questions to go with these. Let's do. Yeah, I do. You know what? Let's keep it going. Child care. You know what child care is, right? Right. by any means necessary, or we got to do better? That's the question. Got two choices.
No simple answer.
By any means necessary, we got to do better. I'm going to play a video for y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think.
Picture of a kid sleeping at McDonald's while their mama is working. Like, bro, why would you do that? Like, seriously. Like, why would you take a picture of a kid? Mind your business. Leave them alone. They ain't hurting you. I see a bunch of comments, people talking about, oh, that's bad parenting. Bad parenting where? All I see is a mother trying to do what she's got to do to provide for her kid. A lot of people are blessed to have a good community where they can take their child while they're working. She probably does not. Babysitters are expensive. Daycares are expensive. Oh, but what if the child gets kidnapped while your back's turned? Bro, I'm telling you right now, everybody at that workplace is a team and they are watching over that kid. I mean, if you got an issue with it, you pay for the babysitting. Have a good day.
Okay.
Mrs. Harris.
Oh,
The
man.
lovely Mrs. Harris. You
no
look pretty in
simple
that
answer.
picture too, girl.
Thank you.
I see you in your shades.
It's shining. That was the cameraman. Shout out to the photographer. He's professional. I mean, that's hard because it is a lot of situations where people don't have a community. And it is, workplaces that are like family. Because for that child to be able to do that, there must be some type of, community in that, corporation, because legally you are not allowed to do that.
That is impossible to do.
On corporate time at all. They don't care about that unless they set aside some type of daycare provisions through their corporation. But we know that's not happening. So most people do have to do anything by any means necessary. Sometimes the kids are actually in the back.
Would that be you? Would that be you?
I don't think I've ever had to take the kids to work. Luckily, definitely took them to school, and that was okay. I even made it, got permission from the professors beforehand. So I was kind of lucky.
No doubt.
But yeah, no.
I'm on the different side of the fence on that.
Sure.
I don't agree with it. I don't think that, number one, it's legal. I don't think everyone's able to do it. Again, shout out to her community that was able to provide provision and covering for that young lady.
Yes.
You can keep it funky.
Yes, and covering.
Because there were absolutely provisions made. And again, I think that's the reason why I land on the side I land on, because there's always provisions. There's always a safety net of some sort. But for me, it would not have been. Sir, you are going to have to suck it up, pay daycare,
You're going to have to take the day off.
gas
to miss out on
to get them there, or you can't come in.
What you doing here with it? Well, I ain't got no,
With a whole child.
Not the same sympathy.
And I completely understand the empathy and the sympathy displayed to the young lady, because again, she showed a certain level of fortitude just going to work, being present and accounted for by any means necessary. But at the same time, we got to do a little bit better.
A little bit or a lot?
We got to do a little bit better. We got to. We got to be able to make the provisions necessary to provide for our families. This is something that, again, certain people are not extended the courtesy of excuses on why they can't provide for their family. You get out there, you make the necessary adjustments, and success is what? An opportunity, and being prepared to take advantage of it. And again, she got it done, so kudos to her. But at the same time, a lot of things could have happened in McDonald's. A back door, a bathroom patron,
Somebody paying attention.
anything.
Yep.
But you know, if you got something to say, pay for daycare is what he said at the end.
For her.
Absolutely. Make another provision. So, you know, y'all let me know. I could be way off. Y'all know me. It wouldn't be the first time.
Definitely gotta make provisions for our children. I mean, and for their futures, you know, so it's all about, none of us are professionals, but it's definitely all about teaching them now. Like we definitely gotta steer them better now to make better choices. You know, trying to keep their families together.
Mrs. Harris, let me ask you a question.
Please.
Pole awareness for kids. Yay or nay? Before you answer.
Oh, pole.
P-O-L-E. Pole. Like down in the valley where the kid naked. Like that. If you got them ones, then you know she gonna shake it. But before you answer, you know me. Oh, bless you, little baby. See what you think about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Shout out to Sir Hell for checking back in. What up, Sir Hell? Y'all go check out Sir Hell Network. Sir Hell Speaks in the building. Always a dope conversation. Yes. Sometimes we have the pleasure of being on the panel. Yes. He is so gracious and accommodating, and the conversation is always dope. Shout out to everybody that come over there. And oh man, funny is an understatement. Shout out to Shoo over there. Mm-hmm. Shout out to I Seen Your Little Podcast. Word. Shout out to Man of Prestige. Yes, Prestige. Shout out. That's my guy. Yeah. And Lady Hell. Dusto. Shout out to Dusto. Shout out to the whole crew over there, Sir Charles. Yes. And it's always a great conversation over there. So thank you for having us. And y'all go and check him out, man, because he always show us love, and we love to reciprocate. Absolutely. Mrs. Harris, I had a video coming for you, right? It was about polls. Y'all check into poll awareness for kids. Yay or nay? What say y'all on the check-in?
Over this toddler on a stripper pole at a gay pride festival in North Carolina. So one side of this argument believes that it's okay to teach kids about pole dancing to try to get rid of the stigma around that type of dance, and the other side is basically calling this child abuse. What do you guys think?
Real simple. Real simple. Pole awareness for kids. So y'all heard what he said. Create awareness. Y'all heard the buzzwords? Did y'all listen to the buzzwords? Yeah. Stigma, awareness. They use these words to desensitize us.
Blowing up over this toddler on a stripper pole at a gay pride festival in North Carolina. So one side of this argument believes that it's okay to teach kids about pole dancing to try to get rid of the stigma around that type of dance, and the other side is basically calling this child abuse. What do you guys think?
What do you guys think? Awareness. Really? Is that really awareness that our children need? No STEM.
They're aware of a pole, but they are
no
not
economic finances. Know how to balance a checkbook.
A
pole.
A recipe. Follow directions.
Corners on the bed sheets.
I mean, manners.
Drywall. Don't get me started. Change your oil or alternator.
Come on now, cornrows.
Awareness.
So many things to teach.
Awareness. Stigma.
Oh.
Y'all ever baked a cake before? If it tastes good, then you bake it again. And this is what they do. They bake the cake. Awareness, stigma, all of these words we used before, and they worked like a charm.
Right.
Everything we wanted in, it's in. All the inclusion, consideration, it's in. So let's not stop there. Let's get the maps in there. Let's get the children on the pole in there.
I think if adults want to, live this type of lifestyle, that's fine. Don't introduce your children into all of that. I don't think it's fair to their young minds because they are not understanding it at an adult level. And the pressure to think that they have to be included, be this way, it's unfair. It's very unfair. And I don't think parents are paying attention to that dynamic. Go and enjoy yourself. Get butt naked on the pole and enjoy the whole parade and all of that. These babies don't need to be involved in all that.
Yeah.
Why do you have to force that in the children?
Look what sis said. She said, why the children's on the pole?
Right. It's like when we was coming up, why you gotta smoke the crack right in front of the kids? You know what I mean? Like, come on. Do that somewhere else. Got me bad influence.
I just see the recipe. I see the agenda.
The money they can make.
That too. That's always at the end of every rainbow. It's a pot of gold at the end of every rainbow. But again, just watch for the buzzwords, for the way they make you feel bad for having your original and individual thought. And we go from there. Let's continue. Keep the party moving. Mrs. Harris, can I ask you a question?
Always.
No lights. Do we blame the leader or the lead?
No light?
Checking. Not smoking crack, man. Yeah, it's something. We definitely know the effects. So anyone that does it today, in 2022 year of our Lord, Game of Thrones, House of Dragons, you bugging out.
I just think about the children experiencing that trauma, and then becoming parents and having their own vices, and then just continuing the cycle, introducing those children to that trauma and those vices. And it's like, I went through it, it made me, strong or proud or whatever it is. I don't even know, but
you are
shame. There's no more shame in anything.
Oh, Karma checked in early. She said the leg. I hear you. Stop smoking crack, she said too. She said no smoking crack, man. That's right. It's whack.
Yeah.
Barbara Bush.
Okay, so the no lights.
Right. She said the leg.
Like the electricity going out.
That's right. What the lights mean?
I agree with Karma. I agree with Karma.
Lights. Because that when I hear no lights, that's what.
Yeah.
You agree?
I agree with her. To a degree, it's one thing to be led, but just to be clueless and not aware of what's going on is, kind of unsafe. You definitely should know what's going on, and if there's something that you can do to help that, like if I know and I'm aware, it's something that I can do.
Absolutely.
To have us both just not letting lights get turned off, it's not gonna work.
Click.
Right. Sometimes it don't take nothing but a phone call. To push it back, extensions or whatever the case may be. So, there's resources.
So Hale checked in. He said the leader is responsible. The lead must be held accountable. It's a great point.
Okay.
It's a great point. I mean, you said something yesterday about being led off a cliff. So, how do we feel that out? But before we dive further down,
a simple question.
Let's take a look.
Never a simple answer.
The answers are never simple, but the question, lights, yay, nay, leader, led. Let's see where this goes.
What type of games you play? Talking about put it on my Sunday.
But we don't got no lights.
We don't have no lights. Don't I always pay the bill?
But when did you
pay the bill?
Don't I
always pay the bill?
Okay, so when did you pay the bill?
I paid the bill last week. What are you talking about?
Last week.
Yeah, last week I paid the bill. It
couldn't have been last week. It couldn't have been last month. It couldn't have been the month before that because
I couldn't have been the month before that.
The lights are off still.
What are you talking about? Man, how they been on all these months if I ain't paid the bill then? What you put the people feel lucky and just want to give us the lights for free?
It takes too much for them to come out and give you a disconnect.
Now, what are you talking about, man? I paid the bill. So, man, look.
Oh my God. You won't be fresh. That's your problem. You won't walk in these streets looking all good and
I don't give a f. You is wrong with
I
the
can't
bus?
do nothing. I can't do my hair. I can't go piss. Nothing, son. I'm in the dark.
I just went pay the bill last week. You talking about?
But the lights are off today.
But
I don't understand. You want to smoke weed? You want to be on social media, popping bottles in the club, dressing.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. I was with Sir Hill before I played the video, but after I played the video, I'm definitely with the brother Sir Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not with it because of any of the reasons you guys might think. You know the reason why I'm with it? Because every question she asked, his answer was, "What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about?" And that is some crazy, dismissive, disingenuous crap. Because you know me, and I'm just basing off me because I know me. Here's the bill. Here's what I paid. Here's the day. It's online.
Let's pull it up.
Like it's everywhere. We got a paper version.
What you talking
we got
about,
an
man?
online version. His answer for everything was, "What you talking about? Don't I always pay it? What you talking about?" And that's preposterous. I used it again.
Again, that's just his character.
Okay.
Breeds simple to me.
Okay. What do you think, Mrs. Harris? The leader, the leg, you don't know what she's talking about. It can't be 1 month because they don't cut your lights off for 1 month. Nowhere in the world, right?
No.
So what's say you? Not the Yee shit. Oh, yeah,
Yes.
He had them Yeezys. He had them Yeezys. I would have had a problem too. You should have. Hashtag character.
Yeah, I mean, this is irresponsible, lack of discipline, no honor in this man because he seemed like a whole homosexual. Shout out to Red Lipstick Bob. He was staying in her place. Just the way he was speaking, just had no kind of real mannerisms to me.
Okay.
What I consider, he couldn't even articulate. I don't know. It's just, yeah, he seemed really weak. And Yeezys is important to, a man this stage. Like, bills are much more important. That's like a woman being mad because the dude paid all the bills and she wanted a purse to dapper our purse. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Damn
I get
man.
it. No, I get it. Again, just the level of disingenuousness, I think is
Lack of
really,
responsibility, just
speaks to the conversation. But I think it's the leader. I think it's absolutely the leader. Now, like Sir Hill said, and that's why I agree with him, it definitely has to be some accountability because, like you said, it's not just a 1 month thing. So after 1 month, knowing you have this questionable leader that poorly articulates, we may have to have a sit down and say, "Let me see what you paid. Let me see. Give me access to the portal or show me your receipt stub, whatever they give you if you got to go down there or whatever. I don't know what they do anymore. But show me something. You got to keep me
and that's how
leadable.
That's how it should be.
You know what I mean?
Yes. I need to be sure that these things are being taken care of. So like you said, it is a part of my accountability that these lights went out as well. How do I not know that these things are happening? For me to sit back as a wife and to just be clueless of how the finances are being handled is not It's not okay. And I know a lot of women who do that. They don't know nothing. If the man decides to leave or, God forbid he passes, you don't know how things were being handled and, you didn't know this wasn't being taken care of and that wasn't being taken care of. No, you should know. Y'all should be able to communicate that. He should be willing to let you know what's happening as a leader.
Absolutely.
Because he's not promised every day. That should be another conversation being had. Like, this is how things are, managed. Because I'm not thinking about those things. You know what I mean? It's not something that I have to because you're handling it, but it's good that I should know.
Absolutely, how to get to it if you got to do it. Absolutely. Carmen said we be needing the male mannerism, sis. I get it. Marcus on the check-in. What up, Marcus? Shout out to the panel and the Harris Tribe group. Mr. and Mrs. Everybody in there. He's exchanging the pleasantries.
Welcome,
what up, Marcus? Hope all is well.
Good to have you.
Yes, indeed. We just having a great conversation with some simple. But we've been going through some good ones. I'm going to jump to another one right now just because you got here. And let's do this. Ashamed. Can we censor our mate in conversation? Nikki, we was at a party the other night. You kept talking about Madison all the time, though. What's really good? Here and there, we chilling. I got a cigar. You got your high heels on.
Okay.
And we all polying it up. Talking about our podcast. Everybody is moving and shaking. The food truck they told us about. You kept talking about Madison all night. Don't be doing that next week. Don't be telling me what to talk about. That's what I like to talk about. Me and Madison have fun. What you think, y'all? Can we censor our mate on our conversation before you answer, Mrs. Harris? I know you want to answer right now, but don't answer.
Censoring me, goddamn.
Don't answer. I'm censoring you. I'm going to show you a video first. Do you mind? If I show you a video first? Okay.
Since you act so nice.
Oh, man.
With your nice tone.
It was the tone, wasn't it? I knew it was the tone. Okay.
Like, can I show you? Dang.
Let me show you. Okay. Let me find it first. And, who's checking in?
Oh, Carmen said no, sister.
I said, let me see. Okay, she said, nah, no sense. All right, let's see.
Check this video out. I'm gonna come back. Let's talk about it.
Oh my gosh, honey, these pictures look amazing. I had so much fun. Yeah. You gotta see, especially the one with me and with Jesse when we were standing by the water. That was really pretty. I had so much fun hanging with all my friends from work.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, so what is your problem?
What you mean?
Why you got an attitude? Like, what's going on? You're a little standoffish.
Hey, you know why?
I don't. That's what I'm.
We get to your little party, whatever it was.
Okay.
And I kind of felt like you was treating me as if I was an outcast. I felt as if we were all around your colleagues and your friends. You were ashamed to let me tell them what I do for a living.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I am ashamed to tell my colleagues and friends who are doctors, lawyers, whatever the case may be, that you collect toll for a living. Who wants to go around and say, hi, my guy, he collects toll for a living.
Man, what's wrong with that? Me collecting tolls? Yes, I'm a toll collector, but I love my job. I've been collecting tolls over 10 years now. I'm the fastest tip counter. My line is never backed up. I'm at work every day. What's wrong with that?
I've been through your line. It's pretty fast. It's hard. You know, you're in a room full of lawyers, doctors, and judges, and then you have a toll booth collector.
So it's a problem that I collect tolls? I couldn't tell them that I'm a toll booth collector?
It's not a problem for me. I get it. But this, until you're able to get like a higher level, I think we shouldn't really tell people that you collect tolls for a living. It's not a good look.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
So is she right or is she wrong? Is it okay to hide that information from your friends and associates because you don't feel comfortable with what they do? Or is she wrong for what she's saying? She should be proud of him no matter what he is doing. She should never be ashamed of that. Again, this can go both ways, so I want to hear from the men and the women. Also, let me know what you would do in this situation. Until next time.
talk about it. Carmen said, who are we? The censor/judge? That's right, Carmen. He don't like that. He didn't like that. Your little anything makes me feel away. It's dismissive.
It's very. Yes. You know what little means.
Don't say it like that. I hear you, Carmen. I collected tolls before.
Right.
I bet you had the fastest line,
I'm
too.
telling you.
Sure.
I mean, back in the day, that was a job to get. I'm talking about. They paid good money. Now people are not
What?
needing that. Yeah, she absolutely wrong, Carmen.
Yeah.
Wrong.
At least he doing something positive. He ain't knocking no old ladies over the head. He ain't selling no nothing. He collecting tolls. It's a good job.
That's a lack of respect for that man. That was a lack of respect.
So let's talk about it. Did she have a right to tell him that conversation wasn't the level of conversation that they should be having?
She wasn't allowing him to have a conversation. That was the thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah. You know, she's saying he's beneath, right? You know, just making the assumption that he's beneath the other people in the room because he collects tolls for a living. Like, but that's your husband.
Right. I mean,
hardworking.
Again, you know, for me, it takes the emphasis off of what's really important, and that's the professionalism that comes with our job. Because again, we say personally, we don't want D doctors. We tell our doctors we don't want D doctors. Did you get D's in school, doc? I don't want you.
Right.
I will ask for another doctor. I want a doctor that was astute. And again, I may be a toll clerk, but I come every day. Ask them if I ever been late. Like he said, I got the cleanest booth, the fastest line. Everybody gives me compliments. I win awards.
Right.
Certain level of prestige. What if these doctors and these lawyers she talking about is low level? One's a legal aid.
One just be chopping people up.
He got 8,000 cases, lose most of them. But he is a lawyer, though. I give you that. Like, wow.
That was real disrespectful. And it's just like a matter of factly off her chest. You know what I mean? Like it was just nothing. So just, it's not how you treat somebody you love. I'm so confused.
That's her boo.
You know? Supposed to uplift your mate.
That's a lot of people doing nothing. There's a lot of people doing nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
OG Patrice, hey, how you doing?
Shout out to you, OG Patrice.
Shout out to OG Patrice. Like we told y'all earlier, shout out to her whole team, her brother C, Rico.
Knowledge and relationships in the crew.
And the whole Let's Talk the Better Black Life. They are absolutely amazing. Y'all go check them out.
Awesome
Hit that
content.
channel. Yeah, hit that like button, subscribe button. And thank you for being here, OG Patrice. We are tonight just so simple.
No, not so simple.
We may get a little sophisticated when it comes to the answers. I'm gonna keep the train rolling. We just had a real meaty one. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Should we be censoring our mates on what they talk about?
Well, by seeing the video, that was a little different with her. She was just being disrespectful. But
she was censoring him. She was telling him
the way you put it to me with the whole Madison.
Right, that was just
like,
right. You know,
you
I'm not as sensitive as her.
But even just noticing, you know, it's your perception of the night. You understand, and you may have noticed that my conversation was making other people uncomfortable, or you know what I mean, whatever it is. I'm not pissed because I'm talking. I'm probably an ego, ain't even thinking about what's going on. So either way, you let me know that this is what you perceived and this is what you would notice and others were perceiving about me. I should definitely pay attention to that. At least take it in a little bit, reflect on it, and you know, kind of acquiesce when I'm out. Like, you're out trying to enjoy yourself, kids. And you see that in movies all the time. The couples have to say, we have to make a bet that we are not going to talk about the damn kids when we go out tonight. Goodness gracious.
Let's start with
yeah, they cute and all.
Right.
But how about us?
Absolutely. And that's, that's the reason why, I wanted to show it, only because, not to say censoring somebody, but to always keep a level of consciousness that you guys are out to enjoy yourself. Don't take that away from you. Don't take that focus off of you.
Right. You don't know the next time.
And it's going to be there when you get back. Trust me. It's going to be there. Waiting.
Yeah.
Probably at the door when you get there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be there. Take that time for yourself and chill on out. All right, let's keep the party moving. Keep the train rolling. How about this one? This is happening. Oh, this is a good one. I think. A black tax. Would it help our community? Would it inspire artists? A black tax. What do you mean by black tax, Mr. He said? Well, I'm not going to say.
Interesting.
I'm going to let somebody else say. They put it way better than me.
But my argument is that because you as a rapper have been allowed to take our brand, to take the culture that we created in our community and market that to the world and represent us in a way that's not always consistent with how we need to be viewed to survive in a racist society that wants to kill us, you owe a black tax, and it's a big one. You owe us a bigger tax than you owe the federal government. And we know the IRS is going to come collect their money. Well, black people should be collecting too. And that black tax should include massive billion-dollar investments in the black community, in black-owned businesses, in black-owned schools, so you can empower economically those black people in the community who got left behind, who can't get opportunities because white folks won't even hire black teachers to teach black children. Well, why the fuck don't we own the damn schools if it's our kids in the schools? Why don't we run those schools? Why don't we make those decisions? We should be the ones deciding what's in the curriculum, not people who don't understand our kids.
Now back to my question. Black tax. Would it help our community? And would it inspire artists one way or the other? Because if you know that the IRS is coming for theirs, and then right after them, the black tax is coming for theirs. So either I'm going to push harder to make great music and make millions and millions of dollars to continue to pay my necessary dues, or I just don't even make music at all. But it would alleviate a lot of the bullshit we hear. We wouldn't hear it because they don't even want to pay the black tax. They know that they got to pay the black tax. And again, you perpetuating a lifestyle that a lot of people don't even agree with or subscribe to, and you're benefiting off of it, you should have to kick some of that back in. And when you kick it in, it's going to a community. Black businesses, black wealth, black generation, black legacy, black all of that. And that's a simple solution to a really big problem. Think it would be implemented? I doubt it.
I mean, because, as a collective, everybody is not fair. Everybody is not honest. Sometimes you think you go into a community where people are running it, but we come here and a lot of them are not good leaders. It's like they steal, they lie, like the money is not going where it's supposed to go. So,
I hear you. I mean, again, that's why, it sparked this question in me. I don't know if it would help our community. In the way he put it, it would, absolutely. Again, just the way it would create a cycle of black wealth, black resources, black community based off economics.
I mean, they might feel more proud because they know it's going to a specific purpose.
Absolutely.
With specific direction.
Absolutely. So, and then I wanted to know if it would inspire artists, because again, you're going to be on one side of the fence or the other, because they're coming at the end of the day. So it's going to inspire you to maybe make more music, to make more money, or to just not make it at all because you don't want to deal with any of it. So I thought it was an interesting concept. I think it's absolutely something that, like I said, is a simple solution to a huge problem. I think people would make different music because, again, the tax is coming. And if you're making music, the tax could be higher if you're making just detrimental music to our society.
Okay.
You know? And the lower the tax, maybe the more positive the music, the more uplifting the music, which would inspire them to make more uplifting and inspiring music. But either way, that's why the question is, will it inspire artists, no matter what way or another? Will it inspire them to do something or not? Don't make music, make better music. Keep making trash music, just pay the tax. You know, some people just pay taxes just to pay them. Some NBA players, like I told you, watching the game, if they wear sneakers that are different than their uniform colors, they get taxed.
Right.
But you see a lot of people that got green uniforms and put on pink sneakers. You be like, his sneakers is just, that don't match.
Yeah.
And he does not mind to pay that $25,000 every game because it shows America I got money, number one. Because anybody with basketball knowledge knows you pay a fine when your shoes don't match your uniform.
Right. Just eating that.
So you know I got money because you see me. These is lime green. These is neon green. So if the black tax was like that, you think people would just pay it just to pay it? Yeah, I know the black tax is coming and I'm making, you know, FD, MF, and I'm still making it here. Pay the tax. I'm making another one called FM. So, you know, it just makes me think down the rabbit hole of which way would it go? And it don't sound bad coming from Brother Boyce. I don't agree with everything Brother Boyce saying, but that one was like, the black tax. The black tax. Mimsy!
Hey.
Hope all is well.
How's your hand, love?
Yeah, I hope that hand is healing. You definitely been doing what you've been doing to make it heal, though. So you definitely holistic and getting it done. Yeah. I mean, you a witch, so you like to burn yourself. I think she likes it. But tonight, simple answers. We only got a couple left, so what I'm gonna do is let's get an icebreaker. Since I only got a couple left. This one is hilarious. If you want to laugh, stick around.
This guy made a TikTok saying his niece called an aquarium a water zoo, which is really smart, by the way. And the comments let me know kids are not from Earth. My daughter would call churches Jesus store. No, because that's actually, I have mixed feelings. I'll move on. My daughter calls quesadillas a Spanish grilled cheese. Well, she's not wrong. I mean, you know, basically. My kids call their robes pajama jackets. Wait, this is genius though. Like, low key, yes. My son calls cupcakes party muffins. I want some party muffins right now. When my daughter was a toddler, she called tears panic water. I mean, listen, she's a genius because yes, panic water, there it is. Very smart. My daughter didn't know the word for thirsty, so she said she was water hungry. I mean, where's the lie? Because typically we're probably more thirsty than we are hungry, and we hungry for water. I mean, y'all be chewing ice. Tell me where she's wrong. My son called an exclamation point a loud period when he was in kindergarten. No, this is my favorite one, and that's how I want it to be read from now throughout the end of time. A loud period, because I said what I said, but very loudly. My 8-year-old called Waffle House hibachi breakfast. First of all, who's still eating Waffle House? Because ew. And second of all, hibachi grills are also ew. Unless it's like one of the, legit ones. But like, are we still going to buffets and eating Waffle House in the year of our Lord 2022? Let's not do that, okay? And last but not least, my nephew says it's ashy outside when it's a foggy day. This is by far the best one because Yes, not the atmosphere being in need of some lotion, okay? Not the atmosphere being out here looking like it's been kneeling in powder, okay? Not the atmosphere that we live in needing a little cocoa butter, okay? Churches,
Shout out to that little icebreaker. I love the kids because they geniuses. They call tears panic water. Straight up. Panic water. And those pajamas, you know, robes are pajama jackets.
Yes.
It's priceless.
Priceless.
Priceless. So shout out to the babies for their great minds. They definitely are like aliens. So.
Yeah, Madison used to call it brownies, brown ronies.
Okay. She was enunciating. She broke it up into syllables.
Brown.
All right. Y'all see the title. We're not going to be here for much longer, but we are. So simple instance. I got another one, Mrs. Harris.
Let's go.
Who's sleeping on the couch?
Who is sleeping on the
Straight up.
couch?
Me or you?
No, nobody's sleeping on the couch.
For real?
Yeah, nobody's sleeping on the couch.
You must be making up then.
Whoever's deciding, then they decided to go sleep on. Nobody being forced to sleep on the couch. If you choose to sleep on the couch,
right.
But I might have to grab my pillow and come climb on the couch.
I hear you. You're going to come and climb with me. Like I said, you must be making up. See that? It ain't going to take long. You making up. Somebody.
Unless you know your mate may need that space, then, you know, by all means.
Give it to him. After
Someone
you try to not give it to him, though. Fuck that. Creep in there and see if you can get right. Tell them they got to say it. But no, let's take a look at his video and see what Mrs. Harris' answer is after that. What is your guys' answer? Who's sleeping on the couch? You or your significant guys? Put it in the chat.
Hey, check this video out. I'll be right back.
I am done talking about this. I don't want to hear about nothing anymore.
Me neither.
And matter of fact, you can sleep on the couch.
What?
You gonna sleep on the couch because I can't even stand up at you right now.
You out of your mind. I ain't sleeping on no couch.
Excuse me?
You heard me right. I'm not playing. I'm not sleeping on this couch.
Whatever.
Oh, let me be clear about this.
Pillow in your blanket, you'll be warm.
No, I ain't no pillow and blanket, nothing. Look, I paid every bill in this house. And with that being said, that bed in there that I paid for, I'm gonna sleep in it. So if you have a problem with that, you sleep on this couch.
Who you talking to?
You! I'm sick of this. Since we've been married, I take care of everything, right? So what if I look like being a hard-working man and I'm sleeping on the couch? I'm not sleeping on this couch. Don't ever ask me to do that again. If we are in this situation again and you have a problem with me, you bring your behind out here and you sleep on this couch, all right? I'm going to get up and I'm going to go in here and sleep in this big, cozy, king-size bed that I paid for. And I'll throw you the pillow and the blanket. How about that?
No, you ain't talking to me like that, CJ.
I just did.
Come back here, we ain't done.
No. So is he right or is he wrong? That man works hard all day. Is it right for him to have to sleep on the couch? If she mad, she can sleep on the couch. Or is he wrong? You can't have your woman out there on the couch and you in your big comfortable bed. If somebody needs to sleep on that couch, it should be the man.
Okay, what y'all think? Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Y'all better come with it. It ain't a simple answer, right? You don't want to get laughing.
We're gonna take the picture away because I might have to get close to Mrs. Harris. Might be physical from this. Might be a couch sleeping on it. So what do you think about the clip, Mrs. Harris? You want me to go first or you want to go?
You can go first.
Okay, me. I don't think that he should be sleeping on the couch. I think the overall argument is absolutely right. He has a certain demand on him the next day, and him getting a good night rest can be life or death, depending on his job. And I think I lean more toward your direction to say, if somebody does have to land on the couch, it should be some sort of a wiggle in and try to smooth out the situation before the end of the night. So, you know, I don't think the intention is ever staying on the couch. You know, I'll go to the couch. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. I go to the couch. But later on tonight, you know, there's plans. So I don't know if
You mean there's expectation?
Well, I don't know if it's expectation. It's plans. I'm trying to make up. So I'm planning on making up later.
Okay.
I don't expect us to do anything because we're at odds right now.
Right.
So I wouldn't expect anything, but I would plan on
expecting the
later.
person to come downstairs. It's not about doing something, but expecting them to come
And make
to the
up
couch.
to extend that out.
Absolutely. They could be in your mad and hell, sexually frustrated, and all kinds of stuff. So just in there sitting in it, wallowing in it.
I get that. What y'all think in the chat? What do y'all think? The couch.
Yeah, me personally, he was absolutely right. He was absolutely right. Even if there is some type of conflict. And, you know, me telling you that you have to sleep on the couch versus me deciding that that's the place that I'm going to take tonight because I'm feeling uncomfortable, you know, how dare I? You have your damn bed, pay for it, pay for the house, half, whatever, I don't care what it is, but you take care of this home just as much as I do. And if I'm that mad that I don't want you in the bed, then I might need to take my ass onto the couch. I hate that in relationships, someone is telling someone else where they need to sleep. That's kind of weird.
I mean, but isn't that the nature of relationships? Haven't we been watching that
Absolutely.
since we came in this space? Women telling men he could have did this. He could have bought McDonald's for everybody. He should have. A real man would have. So a lot of people dictate.
Was he right or wrong? And I think that he was right. All his points were absolutely correct. I see no wrong in how he felt. And if you're that uncomfortable, then you take your ass on the couch. Like, how dare you tell me? I got to get up in the morning and go to work and continue to pay these bills and pay for that bed. So, you know,
great point.
That's like kicking you out your own house. You got to get the freak out. You know what I mean? Unless there's some violence and we got to call the police and we need protective orders and all of that. Yeah. No, the audacity. I think women may have gotten some type of programming from seeing this type of behavior on TV because it's always like that. It has never failed to see that dynamic of a woman telling a man yes to leave his own home,
Or
can't
sleep
talk
on
to
the
his
couch.
own children, sleep on the couch, get out, throwing shit at him.
Since I've been watching TV, I've been watching men sleep on the couch.
You wallowing in there, wanting to apologize, like it just always. It's a
dictated.
damn movie. It's not okay, ladies.
I mean, I believe this is a part of the fairy tale, quote unquote, that a lot of men speak to when we speak about what relationships should be and what people expect relationships to be. It's always been happy wife, happy life, sleep on the couch. Absolutely. Zales for diamond rings for her, and, you know, Home Depot for a power drill for you. And this is just the way it's always been. So we just went along with the narrative, but to see a man stand up for himself like that was unique to me.
Right. Yes.
To see him say, whoa, 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 and be passionate about it.
Yes.
Oh no, this is what it's gonna be. If you feel like the couch needs to be slept on, you're gonna be the one sleeping on it. And he's like, wait a minute, just in case you're not clear, stop so you can listen to me.
Yes.
And that is what stood out to me. I dropped the link in the chat if anybody want to come through, discuss anything we discussed tonight, any of the questions that we put up earlier. If you just want to pop in, say what's up, let us see what kind of t-shirt you're wearing. That's always good. You want to come through, tell us what kind of plans you got for the weekend. That's cool too. But we're going to be here for a little while longer. And I got a couple of more videos for the missus, and we're going to go from there. Let's come back, let them know we're still here, though. Hey. What up, everybody? Hope y'all good. Hope everybody got plans for the holiday weekend coming through, because the summer is winding down.
They threw us off. They let the kids go back before Labor Day.
Yeah, they back. They are back. They are back.
Rushing them in, and they ain't got AC, kicking them out.
Shout out to Baltimore. Rush them back. They got half a days every day. But y'all see the answers. I am Mr. He Said. That is the Mrs. And she is She Said. And we here every Thursday at 8 o'clock. And thank everybody for joining us. We appreciate y'all. And let's see. The missus ran away real quick, so let's break the ice with y'all with something. Let's see if y'all like. This one. Ladies, this one is for you guys. Please. Show me. So, Mrs. Harris.
It smells good.
Would you shop at the husband's store?
Ooh.
Shout out to Sophisticated Grizzly Podcast.
Ooh. I shop at the husband's store.
Shout out to my brother Teddy. Shout out to JB. Shout out to Lady Shaw and everybody over there. They got dope content. Y'all go check them out. But I'm going
Place where you can pick a husband?
It is.
Where you going? I want this and that.
You want to hear about it?
Green and orange.
You want to hear about it? Let's stop right there.
Hey, 6 floors.
6 floors.
You can only go up and you can't go back
You
down.
can go up, you cannot go back down. You heard it exactly right, Mrs. Harris. I love your astuteness. Shout out to the ladies that got that in the chat too. And before you answer or continue your ponder, I want you guys to take a look at the store in action. Shout out to my brother Teddy on the check-in and his TikTok page, Sophisticated Grizzly Podcast. Y'all check him out.
Hello, you may visit the store only once. There are 6 floors and the value of the husband increases as the shopper sends the flights. The shopper may choose any man for a particular floor or may choose to go up a floor, but cannot go back down except to exit building. These men have jobs. Going up. These men have jobs and love kids. Keep it going. These men have jobs, love kids, and are good looking. Wow. I gotta keep going. These men have jobs, love kids, drop dead gorgeous, and help with housework. Oh, God. I can hardly stand it. Gotta go. These men possess same qualities as 4th floor, plus good lovers. To the top, baby. There are no men on this floor. This floor exists solely as proof that women are hard to please. Thanks for stopping by.
Trick y'all. Yeah, that's interesting, right? Ooh, wee. Damn.
See, here's the thing, Mrs. Harris. There was no trick. It's just women cannot be satisfied.
Right, yes.
The 6th floor is completely blank.
And you can't go back down.
But because you keep hearing the 2nd floor got better than the 1st floor, the 3rd floor got better than the 2nd floor, the 4th floor got better than the 3rd floor, and the 5th floor got better than the 4th floor, you just automatically expect or assume
No, you want. You want
or
more.
want
I want more.
that the 6 is going to be better than the 5th, but the 6 is empty. You may exit now.
Shit, I'm gonna stop there too. Wait a minute, he got a job and they like kids?
She said she's good for the 2nd.
Good Lord. Scared to go to 3, wasn't that?
Listen,
Don't mean it's gonna be good. It could have been
Right.
worse.
The better the
You know what
guys
I mean?
get, isn't the emphasis back on you, though, to be just as awesome?
Right. It's even though
So you just want to keep going up. You're that awesome that we just going up and up. Because I'm only a certain awesome. Oh, let me stop right here.
more. I deserve more. That's what most white men say. I deserve the best.
But I thought that was a really good concept and
Yes.
a good video to go along with it because the husband's store.
Yeah, the best is the 6th floor that's empty.
Let's do it.
Keep looking.
No doubt. I didn't think I was gonna get too many chickens on that one, but it's all good. Interesting concept. All right. This has nothing to do with what we were talking about. But
are we gonna play it anyway?
I think so. Let's do this. You know what? Let's not stray. Let's stay on the topic.
Okay.
I talked about empathy earlier and support circles and things of that nature. So, Mrs. Harris, let me show you this.
Why would maybe people were tired of her? Maybe why was there so much hate for such an obviously beautiful woman? Just kind. You didn't hear her using any profanity. You didn't hear any of that. Why would they be so unkind to a family member? Why would people be so dismissive? Why would no one defend her? And I've asked this question for 30 years. Why is it so easy for us to dismiss each other like that? A young lady who obviously, again, we don't owe each other anything. We're here to experience and take things back to our source that we learn, but at the same time, we have these emotions to manage. But why? That's when people come at me, and even to this day, I'll see people saying, bye, you dirty bitch, you fucked up bitch, you dumb bitch. No, not one time, not even the mother said, hey, it's Felicia. I wonder what's going on with her.
Okay. In case y'all ain't know, that was Felicia from Friday. Bye, Felicia.
Right.
And what she was saying was that character. Think back to Felicia's character. She was addicted.
She had an abusive boyfriend.
But she was not cantankerous. She wasn't disrespectful. She didn't use profanity. She was just down on her luck.
Right.
But yet she received such harshness from people. From the, like she said, dumb B to the bye Felicia. She's a pun.
Right.
And her question was the insensitivity from our families, which sparked this question from us. Isn't our family supposed to be our support system? But like she said, from the Black community, from the TV show, from just our community as a whole, she wasn't received very well, and she didn't do anything wrong to anybody. She was just addicted to drugs.
Right. In that movie, right. So it's really the role, she really took that role to heart, but she looked at it more in depth. Of this person is a person. She's in our community.
Absolutely.
We have this person in our community. Beautiful young soul, kind, sweet, just got caught up in the wrong shit.
Yes.
And dismiss her and call her names and so I see where she gets pain because she's probably been cast.
Absolutely.
What do you call it?
Typecasted.
So I'm sure that affected her. And to still have people say those things to her
And
now.
sensitive to her. Absolutely. Over a character.
Right.
So what it really says is she's a great actress because she made you believe. She embodied that. Sis said, oh, wow.
Yeah, it was deep.
Carmen said, yeah, this is my fear. Besides big bodies of water, the disloyal ones. Shaking my head.
Now looking at it, second time. I think I seen it maybe like last week or something. I was a little insensitive to her crying and stuff because I thought that role was so small. You know what I mean? But just the impact of the role that she played was detrimental because we all know one of them may have had one of the beautiful women in our family, may have sold to quite a few of those beautiful women and treated them like that, you know. So just, you know, reflecting on we need to be better.
Absolutely.
Could have embraced her a little different.
Carmen checked in. She said, if I embrace you, embrace it, because I didn't do that with many. And she probably followed the same script. Her character should be that me. Okay?
Yep.
I don't do that with any, yeah. No, absolutely, Carmen. She should eat every time you hear that phrase. You're not lying. Just out of, you know, sheer respect and acknowledgement to where that came from. Because, you know, a bunch of people use it every day. Probably don't know where it stems, don't know the extent of what it caused her and what she went through behind it. But I thought it was an interesting clip to see her share that side.
I wouldn't have expected it had that that type of effect on her.
But yeah, tonight was a little bit to get through. YouTube is being a little resistant, but we're gonna work on that. Verbal currency, Carmen said. That's the title for a good song. Sounds like. But it was fun this week talking with you. It's always. It is. Just chopping it up. We do it all the time, but it's always good to just chop it up and see what you think on different things.
Me too. Because we all see it different.
Simple questions, but they don't have simple answers. What say you on our night in totality?
I mean, we've always come across these kind of building sessions. I think that's what's made our relationship great. Being able to have these kind of open dialects and, you know, struggle through the debate at times, but, you know, get through it, you know, with more understanding and clarity that we do see things differently. You know, our perspectives are different, and that's okay, respectfully. And that's pretty much what this platform is about. You know, we all come from different environments and we're going to see things differently, and respectfully, it's okay.
Absolutely.
You know, just because I think one way, it doesn't mean that I hate or dislike the way you think. I think this way for a reason. You know, and if I can give somebody some knowledge and information, that's a blessing, you know. And if it's just some comedy and some enjoyment, that's a blessing too.
No doubt. No doubt.
If it don't apply, let it fly.
Always good to try to mesh the two. You know, we want to be informative, but we also want to have a little fun. So we gonna have a little bit of fun right now and check out a video.
They targeted the men of River North. They came here with vials of alcohol that were incredibly potent, a gun with a laser sight on it, and a vision to get rich quick. Tiana Trammell is a Milwaukee mother of one, pregnant with her second. Tawana Rainey is a single mom who works as a phlebotomist at this Milwaukee hospital, performing blood transfusions and drawing blood. But since the beginning of the year, the two were drawing in victims to a scheme prosecutors say landed them more than 85 grand in other people's money. The most recent case Saturday night. Investigators say they arranged to meet a man from a dating app at this River North bar. The man didn't know the vial of alcohol they plied him with would lead to an instant blackout. What the Milwaukee duo didn't know, a tracker had been placed on their Nissan. In this case, their getaway back to Wisconsin would stall. When their car didn't start, their arrest came just minutes later. But in past cases, prosecutors say they'd sometimes go back to a man's house and rob him. On another occasion, one was left at the Lake Forest Oasis, only to find his phone, jewelry, and wallet missing. Authorities say they have surveillance videos of Target and Walmart stores back in Wisconsin where they would rack up big bills on the credit cards of their victims, maxing out ATM transactions.
And when would
would you say that things got out of control?
Federal agents telling CBS2 this sounds like a movie, namely the movie Hustlers with Jennifer Lopez, where wealthy men at nightclubs become the target of scheming groups of women. Just like the movie, these women are behind bars. As investigators say, others, part of the ring, are now being sought as well. Authorities say Trammell was the mastermind, part of all 10 of these schemes, that it was her car and her gun that was found inside that vehicle. Ms. Rainey believed to be part of 4 of the 10 schemes. Because this went from Illinois into Wisconsin, across state lines, that could change the landscape of this case moving forward, and we'll stay on top of that too. Live in River North, Chris Ty, CBS 2 News.
Okay, Mrs. Those young ladies were very unique. Luring gentlemen, drugging gentlemen, similar to the movie. See how they tie it all in?
Oh, yeah.
And then say music ain't got nothing to do with it? Entertainment ain't got nothing to do with it? Lies and garbage. It's a whole to-do list. It's an instructional format.
Trying to protect yourself
at all times.
Don't be so easily led by your penises.
Because it's real out here.
It's real out here.
They come in equipped. So absolutely
They know how to use their feminine wiles to get what they want from y'all. You know?
And that was in Milwaukee. Okay?
Yeah, sometimes the sexual assertiveness is a scam, so be careful.
And I got one more. This one is going to be a trigger warning and educational purposes, fair use, and here we go.
Jackson. And for Brent Solomon, family members tell us a 12-year-old girl accidentally shot and killed her 14-year-old cousin. Police say the girl then died by suicide. 5 on your side's Christine Byers talked to the girl's mom this afternoon. She is live in downtown St. Louis with this exclusive interview. Christine.
Kelly, police are still investigating exactly how this shooting happened, but the mother of Paris Harvey, 12 years old, tells me it was all accidental. Shanice Harvey accidentally, and it was all streamed live on Instagram.
They was making a video, and she was playing with the gun, but it went off and hit him. And as it hit him, she dropped the gun and it fell and it went off, from my knowledge. And then when she picked it up by the barrel and it went off. And that's all I know.
I'm so
Yeah, absolutely. Just like she described it, and it is up on TikTok. It is absolutely up. I didn't want to play the exact video, but yeah, the two of them are standing in the bathroom. I believe it's a family gathering, family party. They're standing in the bathroom, and she's absolutely playing with the gun, holding it by the trigger, and puts it to the back of his head. And while talking crap, like we usually do, it went off, and he immediately dropped. Immediately. The gun fell to the floor because of the recourse, and it surprised her, and she immediately got emotional. She knew what she did, and it dawned on her, and you heard another shot, and that was the one for her. Now, whether it happened like mom said it, she just picked it up by the trigger and put it in herself, but just the awareness, the knowledge of guns, that you don't put your hand on that trigger, even if you want to play with it. We get that. Not the smartest thing to do, but we all been young. But don't put your hand on that trigger till you're ready to let it go. And with all of this playing and all of these women buying more guns and everyone having guns, we going from state to state, showing you what happens when women, emotional creatures, get their hands on guns. They pulling it out in the restaurant because you don't make the sandwich fast enough. They playing with it. They taking it to the school bus. just a lot of emotional, half-cocked, half-thought-out actions. And it's not safe. It's not smart. And it's not helping us as a community move forward.
That's so sad.
Absolutely unfortunate that we lose 2 young lives, 2 young lights were extinguished over perpetuating and living up to and subscribing to.
So we're just okay to be negligent. You know, even if you have to have, you know, a weapon in your home, like have it secure. Have it to where these children cannot get to it. Key should not be anywhere where the lockbox is. You know, separate things. Like, it's amazing.
I mean, because again, we become the insensitive ones when we point out these videos, when we point out these women, these modern women, when we point out the children that come from these modern women. We're insensitive, but we're not. We're actually sensitive. We care about our community and what happens in them. And we know that there are consequences for our actions. When we turn a blind eye, when we let everyone operate individually,
and act like we don't see it,
it gets different.
Sometimes you gotta put it right in your face so you can see it and reflect. You know, don't behave this way. Don't have this type of energy around your children. It's a different type of position you play when you become a parent. When you have children in your home, you have to be responsible. You have to set boundaries. You have to follow through when they fuck up. So they know that there are consequences. Like, you know, this is not something you play with. If you're gonna have that type of weapon in your home, you really need to have these conversations with these children.
Absolutely.
Or they shouldn't be aware at all. They shouldn't know nothing.
Absolutely. The last thing I want to talk to you about, Mrs. Harris, is AR. AR is a content creator. Shout out to him versus her solutions.
Yes.
And early before the summer started, he brought up a term, baby mama terrorists.
Okay.
And it was deemed insensitive
Right.
because of the verbiage. Terrorist, baby mama, and a terrorist. That's a little insensitive speaking about women in that fashion. But I want you to check out this clip and tell me what you think.
YC residents say they're being terrorized by
Miriam
teens.
Cintron and her neighbors live in a state of fear. They claim large gangs of young teens have been terrorizing their apartment building in the Bronx all summer. And it's getting worse.
They came at us. They beat us. They broke that stick from that tree there to beat us with the wood. We don't have nobody.
She is not alone no more. We showed up today.
Gangsters when our elderly can come outside and don't have to worry about someone abusing them. It's time for us to come outside and stop watching from the windows. Stop watching these elders get abused from the windows. You know these kids trying to get these buildings. Step up. How can we brown and you come against those who have paved the way for us?
So that was the Bronx. And as you see, the elderly woman was saying that they are being terrorized. There's no other words to describe what they're doing. They're being held captive in their own buildings. And when this subject came up, I was a person on the panel that alluded to New York City, the housing projects, and how the elderly go in at 4.
Yes.
And no matter if they need something or not, they do not come back outside until the next day, daylight, like vampires is outside, because the building, the lobby, the elevator, the front of the building, the stairs, the courtyard, the basketball court, the handball court, all of it infested. It may seem like nothing. People don't think about Tuesday night. But shout out to my guy, my son, Martin Luther King alumni. Straight up and down, that went out there to take back his community because he's from the Bronx. He is the Bronx. You could believe they know who my son, the general, is. But that's what I'm talking about and what AR is talking about when he say baby mama terrorists. Somebody raises these motherfuckers. There's apartments that they live in with the guns under the bed and the crack in the sneakers, and ain't nobody checking the room. Ain't nobody astute enough to see he's coming in with money. She's coming in with new clothes and shoes, and we turn a blind eye, whatever the case may be. But we're creating these people who terrorize.
They probably terrorizing their own homes. You ain't got no control when there's no men in the home. And we get them to the point of making them so docile that they're not allowed to do anything. It's sad that, you know, something like that has to happen for men to come out into the streets.
It does.
You know, but if you got baby mama terrorists running around, they're not allowing the men to be in the lives and be fathers. But you're choosing to bring life into the world. Like, even if they don't want you, you're not worthy to be their wife or move forward with a relationship, allow them to have a relationship with the child.
Carmen says she loves us. We love you too.
We love you, sis. You know, because they're going to need that later. If somebody, you know, has the authority to step in and try to nip shit in the bud, you know, father's the best authoritative figure, I would say.
Absolutely.
Besides the police or the detention center, you know, hopefully he's capable enough. But give him the opportunity. Don't try to make him parent like a mother. It's not the same. It's not the same. They need that. They need that stern authority figure, you know, even fear set in the back of their mind, knowing that there's going to be some damn consequences behind my damn behavior. And respect for elders should be at top priority, because if they leave our home not respecting us, they damn sure not going out the street and respecting other people.
Right.
Not at all. So, you know, I don't know, I'm all for corporal punishment, especially when they little, you know, get it out the way to you know, nip it in the bud, let them know that there's an authority figure and you're going to be held to some consequences. And if you got to get a pop, or a little pow, then, you know, it is what it is. Certain age, they know better. You don't have to instill that. Now we take things away, you know. Everything's a privilege. Besides having a comfortable bed to eat, nurturing parents and some food, you know, nurturing bed to sleep, clean clothes, you know what I mean? So everything else is a privilege. And they need to understand that. And I don't think our children do. They are so entitled and privileged, you know, because we didn't have those things. So we just give them and give them and give them. But we're not giving them no moral compass. They don't know how to manage their emotions. They don't know how to de-escalate. They're full of anger. They're just like, it's something you need to see. So we need to try to turn that around, y'all.
Absolutely. It starts with each one of us and showing them how important it is to be aware of all of these things we talked about tonight, your emotional intelligence, how to de-escalate a situation, and so on and so forth. So if you didn't catch it all, hit the rewind button, throw a comment in there. If you do, check us on the backtrack. Share if you like this type of comment or content, comments as well, because they are always fire. Yeah. Shout out to everybody that's in the comments. We do. We appreciate y'all riding with us. And we always want to be able to bring a view, but a realistic view. We absolutely are aware of everyone's individual movements and how we have the right to move how we want, but at the same time, we're viewed as a collective people. And I think we can be a little more conscious in the way we represent our people.
Yeah, because you are me and I are you. They do not distinguish the difference between us. So.
Okay. So yeah, that's it. That's it. It was real fun being here. Have such simple answers. Go back, check them out. It was fun. This is always a pleasure rocking with you.
Me too.
And
Do a little dance.
we do a little something this weekend.
Shout out to the Caribbeans.
Yeah, we'll see what we get to.
Going down.
Well, shout out to everybody that checked in. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend.
Yes.
Be safe. Do something good for somebody that's not yourself. Because that's where real character lies at.
It really does.
Y'all have a great week, Mrs. Harris.
Good night, sweetheart. We'll see you this weekend. Peace, y'all.